Malo e lau maria ho e ki pea malo e lele e tonga kotoa whanongo mai ki i polokalama Fakafeta'I Oe wanoa wataha me he road to Fa'imata. Pea o mau fia ke kau mai a kaunga tutuku me Iulope pea mo Amerikani foki he efiafini ai ko efiafi ni a Amelika pea mo efiafi po uri au pito a Iulope. Pea ofa pe o whanongo mai hani me nuwalofa me i tonga o kau mai ki he Fakafeta'I Oe wanoa wataha. O ku kau mai foki e tokolahi o whanongo mai pea wiai ki i potfolofola pe mau fie kamata ake e fiafin ka tau toki hoko atu e tau fia. Ko potfolofola to oia mea luke wahe ua ves hongo fulu o pe. Oua e mana wahe. He koeni kua uhau moau ha talanoa maarie koe mea whakafia au pito. Kai ke he kaunga ko tutuku pea ko hai pe o whanongo mai ko e whekau e o talamai ke oua e mana wahe. Ko e efiafi ni, ko e efiafi o e talanoa maarie mo e whakafia mo e whakafeta'i. Pea mo e pehe oua te tau mana wahe. Kaunga ko tutuku mo e kaunga whanongo o ku i kai fie mao he e kia ke tau te nofo mana wahe. Ko uhipe, ko e taimi goni o tau hangat ki ai. Ko e whanga ki i, moki i mea i he mo ui, ko e whekau e kirismasini ko e oua e mana wahe, kai fia, mo neke neka, he whetu'u e kirismasi ko sisu kalais. E meni ki ai. One of the nice things about Christmas is that you can make people forget the past with a present. Okay? We are in that present. Don't think as if I'm bribing you, if you're listening in, but think of it as spreading the Christmas cheer. Mo mea mai pe ke Christmas cheer me Iulope pe mo Amelika o mau iai he mo menitiko ni. So it is cheers to another year of holiday fun and be the light in the darkness. We all fall over sometimes, but you can never wear too much glitter like me and Catalin tonight. But bring joy to others. Hopefully, we hope we're bringing joy to you and sparkle and twinkle as often as possible. And it's okay to be a little tilted. Oku mau atu heni ai popoak talamonu fa Christmas ke te mau hoko atu. Ka te mau tuku e whainga maari e kohini ke tā i atu mua ai popoaki Christmas fia he pataloni ai road to Fa'imata pe koe hala ki Fa'imata. Mea eiki titilupe whane tupo wawau tuita tui wakano me lontoni. Hiri ai ki i message at ahine. E whoki mai lewa polokalama ki a tau tolu goni i he loto Zoom. Wa taha peto e kau mai ke tau kaunga fia mo neke neka he efiafi ko whakakoloa ko endi. Malo au pito.
Aloilele from London, and warm greetings to all Tonga High School ex-students across the globe. Thank you for joining the Mawhana journey at Manatu Melie this year, as Tonga High School students walk the road to Fa'imata. I believe it has been another challenging year for many of us, as we continue to live with our families in the new norm of living with the pandemic of COVID-19. But even in these uncertain times, there is hope and optimism in us. There is hope for better times as we put our trust and faith in our Heavenly Father. As we look forward to the new year, when Tonga High School reaches its milestone 75th anniversary year, I wish you the spirit of selflessness, love, and above all, hope and faith, that the light of Christmas guides us in the times ahead. Whakatawangi ke mo mau ha Christmas fia pia mo hatau fo o monu ia. Tawangi ke kau ai eiki i e tau whanonga, pia mo e whakaanaua ke tau toi whetaulaki fia i e api ko Fa'imata he wāwhe wowa. Ofa.
Malo au pito ko mo whanonga mai ki he popoaki talamonu me eiki titilupe whane tupo wawau. tui wakano he efiafi whakoloa koe ni whoki. Ko ia ai kua lava ai konga ko ia. Ka tau hoko atu mua he efiafini ki hangahi fiefia maafana po aki pe mea ki mautolu koe ni me murini. Pea ke ka paupeko hai ku kau mai ke loto fiefia maafana ke kau mai he ki polokalama o efiafini. Ko ia ai te kamata at pe mua ke to e whainga maari e koe ni ke whaiha fakamalo ki he koristutuku kotoa pe. Kua kau mai taru mei he kamata anga o wanoa ua taha ki he hala ki whai mata wanoa ua. O ku atu ai fakamalo mo e fiefia ko uhi ko mo ngahi tokoni kotoa pe mo wafea e tau pes Facebooka mo wafea e ngahi kore ne tuku atu ke tuku mai ho mo ngahi profile ngahi talanoa ko uhi ko ngahi ngā ue mo e whakotutu ai hala ki whai mata o ne whai he wanoa ua taha. We thank you all Tonga High School ex-students for responding to the call of the Road to Whaimata 2022. Whether it was in terms of your profile, your stories, or just joining us in the Road to Whaimata Facebook, it has been a pleasure for us to accept, to learn, to gain so much from many of you, the diversity of the Tonga High School global family. Fakafeta'I, fakamalo atu. Kono ua pe fakamalo ki he kaunga ngā ue koe ni i he hala ki Whaimata, ko ki mautolu koe ni o ku mauha atu i he fiafini, he kai ke ulau hingoa, pa tokolahi whakumue ni ihi o kai ke nā lava mai he fiafini. Ka kuiai e ngā ue whai ki he ki itohi, whekau aki mo e hala ki Whaimata, ke hoko, koe ki i souvenir, ke tau fitunga fu maanima o e ako, o ke hoko atu ai ngā ue koe ni, pa ku atu e whakamalo. Te ukore pe mua ka katarini ke ne o atu ki whakamalo ki he whiauhi poster na tok lavani he weekend, ke ne whai peha ki whakamalo no, ko ne hiri pe whakamalo a katarini. Te tau hoko at lewa ko e tau informal whai tau whanki i manat merie pe mo e talamonu maafana pe atu mo e tausi me Siamane pe patau hoko atu ai. Kau kore pe ka katarini ke ne atu mo ki konga whakamalo ko ia malo au pito.
Ako pito Amelia e tuk Maria pako famalo ke motor tau ngā ko tō ngā ne tō ngō he na whakatahi fia mai te e Christmas. Ko e atea ki whakamalo ma o lunga ki he whanau ko tō he Tonga High School, Hilliard Primary School pa mo up for all, homo tukanga ma pōpō, o teke ai ki polokalama ha whanau ki Whaimata wono ua, o whaha mai mo ngai tale ni he ati, mala e ati, o maulota ho ngā ia mo fia he tokon ko ia, na lava le ki patongia ko e whakataita na e, o lava ko mwhangat ma ngai pāle, whakamalo lahi, ngā ui fakahoko. On behalf of our working group Road to Whaimata 2022, many thanks for all your contribution and help and supporting us. Mo a lot to my offer to offer that kan mo to whanau ko mai kai Matu'u he popo na whai ke mo ma Christmas fia ke whanau ko na malo au pito.
Malo Katalini pe tau paspas kotoa ki ai ki he ngahi ngā ue kotoa pe ne lava i he wanoa ua taha pea ka pauna i kai ki moutoru ka ngā koristutuku ho wei koristutuku he he kai ke lava ai whanki i ngā ue i ki koe ni ko lava atu pa ulahe mea tau hanga ke tau fo. Kai ke he kau whanongo o ku tau hiki at lewa ki he konga lahi o e pōpō talanoa koe ni o ku mau fia koe ni ke whai atu mei i ulope he fiafini koe uhi pe koe konga lahi koe ia he taimini mo ngahi mea hoko i nuku alofa. Ko tau toksi tu atu ni mei he tau pehe koe ngā ue kafakafa ni ai pure anga mo e Fale Alea ne toklava. Pea tau pata mo fia koe uhi koe ikuna ai kihe lelei taha he tau wanoa ua taha. I he whanonga mai koe ni ne mau whengawe aki, waofi au pita foki, pea mau lawe monu he ngahi tokoni mo e whakawhainga maarie e he paremia hoko. Honorable Huakawa Meiliku, Siosaia ai ngā ue ai halaki Whaimata. Pea mau fia i he ikuna kafakafa, kua ausia e he koristu tuku koe ni, koe taki o e whonua, pe koe paremia o tonga. Koe ai o ku o atu on behalf he Road to Fa'imata, o ku o atu ai talamonu ki a te koe, Honorable Huakawa Meiriku, koe uhi, koe ikuna kua ke ausia, pe a moe, ka venga o ku hanga mai, mo whatongia o ku hanga mai ki a te koe i he tau fo'o mo e ua noa uoa. I he taim ta tau pe, o tau maafana foki mo tau fia koe uhi, o toi whakahistoria pe. Whakahistoria ni tonga, koe Fale Alea, koe kau Fakafofonga o e Kakai e toko taha fitu. O ku tokolahi ai koe kau tonga high school. Koe taha fitu go ia maha koe toko walu, toko whakatontonu mai pe, e kaunga talanoa efiafi ni, ka koe kau tangata ne whatu ki nau tolu me he apiko Fa'imata pe au tau lau kau mo pore ai. A te talamonu ki a teki nau tolu mo nau ngahi whamiri i he amanaki o e Kirismasi pe mo amanaki e to'o whatongia i he tau Fale Alea i he wanoa ua. Teu ngata ai e fakamalo on behalf of the Road to Fa'imata. Kau kore ange mua ke tau kafefe mua ke tau ki mawaheat ki Siamane. Ki Siamane ke hoko ate tau popo talanoa. Pea koe hoko at koe ni tau pāti e nuk whai. Koe pāti Fakafeta'I Oe mawhana. Pau kai ke fōmolo pea ku kore at pe ke hu mai. Ko hai pea ku ata hu mai mo hao popo aki. He koe whainga maari e en pea ku rekoti pea tok whanongo ki ai e tau koristu tuku. E tau kolos le vai ki Stuttgart ki a Falamoe Fau'ese wepa koe kalasta taha hiwa fitu walu. Pea mo Hans wepa koe Fakafofonga ia oe kalasta taha hiwa fitu ua. Pea proudly inviting Hans Wepa and Falamoe Fau'ese Wepa, Tonga High School ex-students of 1972 and 1978. Over to you. It can be in English, German, Tongan, any language, whatever your preference may be. This is your moment to share with us the season's greetings, as well as to toast to the new leader of Tonga. Malo apito Falamoe and Hans.
Okay, thank you, Shane. Thank you, Shane.
Thank you.
Malo apito e Amelia ka kokole peke o mupanga e patapu ka mwe. Tu e loki na osipai. Mwe Bible verse kama hu watu o kahaka te tau toast o kamata ke tau inform o tau pat for me. All the way and good evening from Germany. Te mai pakataha pe ko hi ka Matu'u angel how good we are. We were no manok pwede mali ko ta wabal kita uni. So we'll see the coordinate. They are giving us a taste tonight. We have a 4 toast tonight. So I hope you are all ready and even have enough drink. The first toast for tonight goes all the way to London, to the High Commissioner in London, to Honorable Panboravao. Yeah, okay? So prost for that. All cheers, 1, 2, all the way to London to the High Commissioner. I hope Master CEO is having champagne there. It's not coffee. Please don't drink coffee. It's not tea. Okay, the second toast goes all the way to the Kingdom of Tonga, to our new Honorable Huakawa-Miku, the new Prime Minister of Tonga, and whoever is going to have the privilege of joining him in his cabinet, all the way to the Kingdom of Tonga first. Okay?
Ofatu.
Ofatu. You can do it in German. Yeah, okay.
I can talk in German.
Ja.
Sehr geehrter Herr Premierminister, ich möchte Ihnen ganz herzlich zu Ihrer Ernennung gratulieren. Mögen alle Ihre Wünsche und Ihre Entscheidungen im Sinne des tongaischen Volkes in Erfüllung gehen. Und wir werden Ihre weitere Laufbahn sehr gerne auch aus Deutschland weiter beobachten über die Falamoe. Und wir wünschen Ihnen ein frohes Weihnachtsfest und ein gutes neues Jahr.
Prost. Okay. Gutes neues
Prost.
Ofatu.
And last but not least is one for Amelia Kinapoi, Road to Fa'imata 2022, in the hope that we will all meet together and meet each other there next year into 2022. Okay, Ofatu, Mia, and the Road to Fa'imata.
Tumia iyo ofatu.
Offer to you all.
Atu.
Alles Gute und alles Liebe aus Deutschland.
Hello, Peter Falamoe.
Hello.
We'll come back to you for more of your messages and all of that. But thank you for honoring everyone with this with the toast, and how befitting could that be for our evening tonight. Kakai tau hoko at pepe, but let's release all the tau futens. O koe ko fo molo en fa mole. Ko tau ki pati en ke tau fia ka hange ko fo molo. Ka te kole ko hipe ko faka apa mo fia he lava a master Sio o kau mai ke te ki tau tolu he efiafi. Pa ko faka Sio pe loto I loto he tau zoom ka pau pe to ia ha koris tutuku e kau mai e o ange ho nau whainga maarie ke nau kau mai he tau po talanoa efiafi ni. Pea koia ai e Master Sio ko fakamalo atu on behalf of us. Whanki kau reka ko mautolu, kau kiti ko mautolu o ku mau honga ia. That you take time to join us. And not only tonight, but also throughout the journey of the road to Fa'imata since the beginning. You have been an inspiration to many of us, and you have contributed so much. And we continue to look to you for more as we journey to 2022. Master Sio, it's your time, and we look forward to hear from you whatever contribution you have for us tonight. So tuwat ka koe ke hanga e koe hoko at e tau pāti, malo au pito.
I feel a little bit intimidated by this task that I have been given, but nonetheless, ko whamalo la hea tuka mō tō kātoa, tau te whitu ka koe Amelia mo kau whiwhine o mō whai e volunteer job, ki he whenga e tau ki celebration ki te more meaningful tupu me hau mō ngā ue whai whatongia. I thank you all from the bottom of my heart. Ui kai ke furo ko mau rea whiunga, ke he kohi uku lahe ngahi o wau uku kai ke furo ko competent ai, or probably not competent in anything. But nonetheless, I give you my best shot. Kai ke loko poto he whahinga formal speaking, te kuwiki me ofa tupe, te ki ko ofa la hea tu ka tau ka ainga, kau fellow tonga hai, me he taimi ki mu ai au, au mai ki he taimi. Well, you are a special breed of people. It took a long time and a lot of talent and studying for all of us to be admitted to Tonga High and to conform to most standards. In my case, I was a non-conformist, but nonetheless, I'm very proud of all of you that I can say you are my fellow brothers and sisters. Ki taka multiracial is a good thing. Ai te ko ki talamonu wa te ki tauro ko ato e re whakatonga ko ofa la hea tu ke motor ka ato wha mai nei ia ha taimi e tuku mai he iki ki fōro atu you whiohi mo get to know you guys. Aduki whakalarawe dogi pēa ngahi lea, I love you, o whātulahi kia mūtoro kātoa. Me he kalasikona ko ugeha mō konga Oriental War Haini. Te amo. Ik liebe dich. Je t'aime. From my heart to yours, malo tuko mai whainga maare koe nā. Kau ki mana masi e ko hiku si tore gareka, me ose mana. Me kaya hanga hi whakanā whala ku whihalak, mea mō whakaboni mōre ka ātong be e tau whanonga. I like to turn it back to you guys and let's mix it up.
Yeah. Malo.
Maria Pito. Sai pe ata pe ke ya flow ia. Ko iloi pe ko Kaitu'u mahal pe na ko mohe si ono san he taimin ka ko hui pe na to a ma ya pe o te ke angi ha fainga Maria o to ke ta Kaitu'u I pangai ke si kau mai ke mean. Ka ki mua pe ai ko at pe ki pui tu a kaunga ko tutuku ka pa pe mo whanongo mai he efiafi ko e mau ki I na nivi ko e ni ko e whakalau pisi pe mo e fia ko e uhi ko e au sia ai tonga high school ki he tumutumu o e taki o e whanua. Pea ko e ai ko paketa Kaitu'u I pangai foki ko e ne toki ospen mahala hono mahina e taha mo e konga pe me iua I London. Pea ko ia ko ne hoko ko e head pe ko e taki o e waa whakapolikare ki he Pasifiki. And how befitting is that I will ask him diplomatically or politely can ne hanga moa o kick off mai ha tau ngahi pōpoaki ki he Palemia-Fili pea mo e kapineti pe ko e kau ngā whiri Fale Alea ko ia ko lava ai tonga hai. Hane ki I whakaloto lahi me he tawhaako ino ku iai te hoko atu ai. Malo apito e toke tā Kaitu'u
Malo mua Amelia. Pea kore pe mua ki kaunga whakatolo atu I he nai ala whakatapu tau pe o fakahoko he meani. Pea koe whare nia o ku iksia o ko whainga maari ko ni mo e loto honga ia. Malo pita Amelia mai whainga maari. Pea hangi pe no pea ko o tau lele informal pe pa ko tui ko lau maari pe o e ahoni. Ko whaampe ke o kau at pe ai. Whamalo atu ko le pe mua ko whiwhia mai whainga maari pe whaki talango fua. Na whaipa tohi mo ua kita. Ka o ko taha whiwhia ahoni hangi pe ko e rea nei ka mata ke Master Sio. Ke whawhiwhia pita malo pita Master Sio ai mea o whai, you mentioned present. Pea whakalotlahi a pita ho pehe, you're a non-conformist. Pa ko tuko ko lau maari pe ia ai wholokolake o te tau conform to this work ka tau transform. Whamalo atu ho whakalotlahi mai ho. But Amelia, I'd like to start off by again, I was very moved by the message you started off by. I wrote down actually what you said was a part of it said not to forget the past with the present. I thought about that because it was very interesting because you mentioned the past and the present and also the present that Master Sio started giving us a present. And this is a season for gifts and present. And so it was really interesting thinking about what you said, not to forget the past with a present. And if you play around with the words, and I was like, the present is to remember the past. It does work in that going around that world. And for malo again, we are in the present. I guess again, not to erase the past, but to improve. Not to not come to whakaikai, but to basically to make it complete. Pea ko kaunga kau he whamalo mo whiawhia ahoni. Iherea koni Master Sio, he kept on saying since the beginning, making jokes about Pamona Bilau Catalina. I think he's more sharper than anybody else in this room. The vocabularies that he used, both English and Tongan, it's just amazing. Some of the vocabularies he came up like fakanafala. I don't think I've ever said that word ever before. Is that the Tongan for erroneous? Even that word you used that in your earlier. So I thought it was very interesting. Again, thank you so much. It's a really a pleasure. And as you said, and I hope that's our prayer as well, that you live longer, so that we learn from you as well, passing on for future generations. Malope Amelia, I remember one of the reading through the Red Cross. I mean, one of the longest organizations, international organization, and when they celebrated the 100 years anniversary, one of the panelists did mention something that left with me, was they said it's a different era, a different challenge, different concepts. So I thought that was very powerful because they lived 100 years history. I'm also at the Commonwealth Secretariat, which they, going into that sort of direction. But thinking about that, and of course, different era, different challenge, different concept means there are different people, different generations who bring those concepts over. For Master Sio, efiafi, mo he Fakafeta'I Oe he uia o tua ke kau whewhine koe ni kau ke come up with this road to Fa'imata. Whoever thought of such thing, wonderful thing, and prayed about it and worked hard and then devoted their time. Hange beko lea Fa'imasta Sio Fa'apalahia ki makaunga kau I fakamalo ia really come up with such. Pakotuga uia o tua for different era, different challenge. Wai bimba Kakai o kumai o gui o tua kihe mea mohono taimi, to'ukai mohono lohu. Pakotui, there's no better people, most difficult time of our lifetime with the pandemic and what's going on. Pako kaunga whawheta'ia mohonga ia, I he ui ko whai pa tau mui ai mua ko ngau ia I he ngau e maongonga I hono palani I pehano lohufia I pehano whakalele koe ni Road to Fa'imata 2022. Again, in those line ko kaunga kauat pe I he efiafi kaunga efiafi I he ui mea ki tau tolu ki taimi ko ni he ngai tuunga mo he whamiri mo whanoa mo siasi mo organizations ke tau fakahongai talanoa for the good work that God has prepared way in advance to be completed. And it's wonderful to feel that we're part of that super plan God prepared for us. And in that again, the Prime Minister designate Honorable Amelika Siamane is again koe kaunga whiawhia I he ui o tua ke Kakai ki hono taimi. Different era, different challenge, different concept means requires different people, unique people for such a call. Kaunga kauat Amelia pehe kia Falamoe, Melnaite, mo Catalin, kaunga fakamalo atu, I he Fale Alea, mo mamahi mea, koe ngahi values o ka ve gola tonga o tau pore ai pa o tau leongo tau nofo muri ka o tau ilo ai ho tau tonga pea o tau whai ho tau lelei taha ke ko moto pea pia ko I he fakamalo atu I he kaunga fakamalo whiawhia ahoni ke ko te whakaloloa ka ko I he Commonwealth Secretariat hange koe whaka talanoa vai mai he MC na o ko maina bene ua mau I he nima family. I'm very much enjoying the difference. I lived in Japan for 21 years before moving over to here directly from Japan. So it's quite very interesting experience, basically. Everything new, our very first Christmas in Europe. We went and bought a real Christmas tree from the market just down the corner. I was carrying it like this, and so we're really enjoying the difference. It's quite challenging, but we believe, as a seed, when God provides a role to be, a job, He'll definitely provide the resources, the good health, the skills, and everything. Knowing that I don't bring anything, I'm very grateful. Ui ko fai pe ko tui be ko fai bele le ta e o me e ki e kakai mo me ko to be au ke mafai ki fai ake nga o na ane osi palani me mua me tuai ko hinga for his own purpose, and the work of the Commonwealth. Again, it's for our common good, and but the good Lord. So I'm very much committed to that call. Pako falahi atu Master Sio o fia au pito he ku cross path mo koe he fefin pe he ke kau fefine. I'm really grateful. Kata ke whalola Amelia o falahi atu.
Malo.
Malo mo tamasi I Kaitu'u I pangai e tokoni mai ke tau pāti ka kau sia tau hange ko ki 10 se tau kau pāti. O kai ke ki ngari tonga hai e tau talanoa.
Fe maha fo I fas.
Hange ko fe mahala fo I fas pe na kore pe kau fe fine ke taktaha share screen mai mua o tuku mai ha ki favorite ke tau ki ai ko hi pe ku efiafi. Kai ke he mahalo pe ka pau e liriu e tau fehui me tau talanoa. Koe hi foki koe konga ua eni koe konga koe whai walahi no tau rere ne o se tau ka se te ane. Koe whai walahi eni koe fia. Moe maa whana, moe manat me rie. Ka tau hiki mua ki he to'u tahiwa walu ngofulu. He ko Master Siosaia he nima ngofulu, ko au mo Falamoe he fitu ngofulu, pa koe walu ngofulu ene ka matai koe nea. A toke tā Kaitu'u, ka tau te ki arifo. Arifo ange ke he waluke, ki he valua valtol valfa. He konau kuonga eni. Koe mo oni ia, he? Konau kuonga eni, ai valungo fulu, konau taimi en ka pau te tau. Sio he tau tohi gon koe, ai amanaki ke publish ke tau kahau. Ki he whakalakalaka koe, ai eke te mika pe koe malae ako, tau te fito, ki he apiko wha I mata, a tau ataina, na ka mata koe e Matu'u he ene makasini, hingoa e makasini, he? Kai ke tau fia he ngahi milestones ko ia, ko taimini, ko taimi whaingata aene COVID, ke tau reflect ke ngahi tenga lelei ne tō he kau mua ai e tau tōlu, ke whai mata, ako whai mata, tau lau kau ai taimini. Ka te kamata pe haku hanga whakatupa ke a ka mere nai te mo katarin e ki whehui, whaingo fua tahaini. Ko e ongo whewhine ko e ni, na mei tōu mo Palemia-hoko. Na wi apiako, na nau whiao mo Palemia-hoko, I he walungo fultupu, taim koe na tala sese mutua e Palemia-hoko, ko uhi ko teunga e toa haasa. Aena si whainga mai a tapuange moia ko si mamao, rest in peace, Paul Maloni tu Iwai. Mo mantu I pēna e hu mai a Paul Maloni, he tau road to whai mata, he aho e taha pehe mai. Whewhenai ka tau whoki o talau se mutu, he? Pa ko o mai pe ia uhi, o ia e kau pe kia, pa tau manat me rie ki anau tol. Mantui ko tau fia, mo tau Fakafeta'I efiafi, pa tau manat ke ni. Whenai kau a Paul Maloni, he ni ihi na uturi ke ne hanga o moderate e taha ngai talanoa manat me rie. Pa ko mo oni ko mo talanoa a mo tolu Master Sio, na te o Maloni ke ne hanga co-moderate, pe mo fua I api ho mo talanoa. That aside, ko tau whokon ke taime talau se mutu, te ukola ngai mua kakatarin mo merenai te paguna whaiteria pe ko hai e raki. Hu mai, ke tau pāti, ke tau manat me rie, ki he tau eik Palemia-Fili ka anko fili ke hoko ate wanoa woa, taki o whanua. Ko ha mo ki I manat me rie. Taimina e siao so vareni ai, I he tahiwa walu ua, walu tolu, walu wha, walu nima, whai mei ai ke tau, na e graduate ai, a sia sovareni, kua ne hoko, koe paremia hoko o Tonga. Did you ever dream e hoka sia sovareni, ko ha paremia koe take whonua? Ha anga ha mosio kia. Over to you, Menai, te mokatarini, mo tosi moa peko hae raki, fuaki mai ene manat meri. Ofa atka moa.
Malo apito mia, pa mahalo pe ku kei taitai mea katarini ke to hu mai he koia o ku to upe amoe palemia hoko. Ka koe mahalo ki mui piau tari ki whehui. Ku raktu pe whamalo ko hi koe lava e polokalama koe efiafi. Le whai e teu ia pea whoki mai whanau. Me he ngahi wheitu ke he kou nau iai. Pea mouhanga ai pea uia he ngahi ngā ue whakaapi ka e. Nai o saia ne e kufuka. Ka koe toi tukat pe he tike ke lava e ke whakotu. Ka kou malo pe ku kei tuk wharele e ai reindeer Santa Claus koe ni i Svenpo i heni. Ka pa ku kei mau hake pe. Ka kou whamalo at Amelia kou hiko whainga maari e o polokalama o efiafi. Nā pehe au ko tau ki mea pe tau tol ta koe. Ta koe ia o ku toe ngari atalahi ange ia he koe na ko iai ai mea pe mi he tahine tal whekau lahi. Ka uma afoki ai petutaki pe mo talanoa mai pe mi he Commonwealth Secretariat me toki tā Kaitu'u. Ka uma afoka Master Sio pe ku whamalo atu ko hi koe polokalama koe efiafi. Pa tui mahalo koe whainga maari pe eni. Ka tak pe ka pau kusi mate atu e mau neti me Svenpo. Mo mana pe ku mau I motu. O ku mau I motu, mau tolo ku mau I fun. Pa tō lai whanau, pa mahau na Netflix ka toa pe na tolo ia online. Pa mahau kusi mate atu e neti. Ka koe konga pe taha koe ato e popak talamonu ki he Palemia-Fili. Whatawange ki otoa mafi ke ne kei whateunga I pe koe ka uma afo ka Fiona pe mo e whamiri. He ko uhi o kui ka ki aha taha e tu toko taha koe whamiri te nau popo ofi kia te koe I he lakanga ma olunga ka oku where ahono ngahi pole ki hoko koe na koe Palemia o e whonua. Pea ko tui o ku o atu whakataha pe e talamonu pe mo ki mautou kotoa pe I he whaleni. Kai uma afo ke kaunga ako kotoa pe ki he feitu'una ke o atu he o tuaha sino mo ui lelei haivi o maalohi ha keresi o kulahi pe mo ha ofa o kuhulu. Ko hui koe whatongia ko ui koe ki ai. Koe taimi foki ko au na hu ki tonga hai he tahi wapalu wha. Ka koe hu pe mihi api ako lau toi puri anga koe ngere ia. Ai ko au mo katarini na mau I ngere ia whakataha pea mo tangata e ki Palemia-Fili. Pea me iai pea he taimi pea koe ana o si maheni pea pea mo ni ihi koe o ku iki ange ai. Pea awai pe fokia ki he momoa mai nā tō ki tonga hai pa mau tō ki mui mai mau tō o hua te walwha na huna toi walua. Ai au ku o si iai pe ai maheni ia I he taimi ko ia. Pea koutu ia uia o ku iai pe ni ihi au te pehe pe ki tai au ku o si teu I pe nau tōlu ia ke nau hoko koe taki. Koe toe ai ngahi nau ke whanau aki nau tō ke nau hoko. Koe kautaki lelei, koe kautaki o nau fakahoko ha ngahi whatongia ke lelei whakalupua. Aia ko tui a wia o kei toko lahi pe ai di ihia I he kaukolis tutuku. O ku osi whakateunga ki nau tōlu pe o polo I ki nau tō ke nau hoko e taki. Pea koe mea whoke taha koe ke tau whatonga I ko kautaki ka ia mo ka popo pe ko tau fatongia o ka popo ke lotua ki hufekina ki nau tolu pe mo faitonia para pau tau sia ta me au ton ke popo I patau popo ke pa pau tau sia ka me au kai ton ke popo I tau pe hala patau lea he kakai ke tau lea ko hai elea ka koe koe tau mua ia taha o polokalama he efiafi ula ki pe koe o atu ha talamonu pe mo ua pe koe ki ai ke tau whakahat ko ki tau tolu eni o hange pe ko tau ngai whatongia ko tau pe tau whai I he hala ki whai mata I he tau talanoa ke pure ako ko tau hiki atuia aho tau ni mapa tau tala atu ki anau tolu ko ki mau tolu eni te mau lava tokoni ki ngawe aki ki mau tolu he o mau tu'u ke hoko koe popo koe popo ta iai ha mea o fie mau ke fakafoki mai ko uhi koe popo o whai aia koe mea peia ko tui ke toe whakamahino ka ke toe whai hatalanoa ki ai ko ki tau toluni o tau o atu tau talamonu ka toe o atu pea mo tau popo te tau iheni ke tu'u atu ke whai hatokoni o ka fie mau pa ko tui koe mea e mahalo nau fie lea aki koe he efiafi ni pea mo ngahi mea pe koe nau lea aki koe e mastasio ka ma afoke a toke tā Kaitu'u pea mo me toast me Siamane leonga ngahi feitu ke hei mamane utau iai kau tau tu'u kotoa pe koe popo ka koutu mahau feunga e talanoa ka tuange ki Spain ke huma Spain yo whakaiki ki mai e nau taimi na nau I he a koa I pea mo e Palemia-Fili malo aputa
malo naite malo apiko como todo te que o que mo va cogido ko Catalin ana pu ki tong hai he tai valua fata mo se asovalen he GPS ngale ya ana ku kama ta vez GPS ngale tai fito no fata mo se aos me ayo o pe ki tong hai ke val fito ai ko ta ko e ki ke hui pu hai manat me li ke tanga ta ek Palemia ai ko
Excuse me
se
for a
asina
minute.
mo ko
Can you turn on your light, please? I'm not sure if it's on my. There we are.
Io colgo to glava de no siota. I can
Now
see
we can
Kaitu'u
see
and
you.
Master Sio.
Yeah. Malo. Fai teri ha pe
Siamane,
ko pe
okay,
ke pau ke
whakapauli
no
ma
ko pau ke
Siamane.
I kai o mau aska to pe Katalini ka ke fai teri ha pe ko ke pau ke no fo ko ke fehui. Fai a ke pe angi ho lau mari e ko efiafi o talanoa tau atai na mo.
Katape, okay, que lama siota mo to mahalo
We can see you. We can see you.
Technical, because it's okay, because it looks like it. Okay.
We can
like,
we
okay,
can have a good picture of everyone.
Okay,
back to you.
Pues haga Các mình ta ga bài của yêu người ta nói bên yêu người ta mới nhìn ta ta ek Palemia anh mà tụi qua hơi bên một xíu về GPS nghe lấy nhau ở cái tông hai các cái lao cái này thế này phải hình cái là photo bên nào tôi cái nào kaki ai phải cái bên này bên một tụi có một xíu cái nghe lấy he was very smart, outstanding in that kotoa. Na osi hange be na osi te ke taki ka ko bon ba to whakanau ko when you grow mature in life whakanau mai ki tena mea ke ai ko mon he ko thanga lo tau tu ko tau vilo o so tu ba pe pala ne ki ko ha ha tu ki kau ha la de lu e ai mata pema wa ha fa to ngia ko to hanga lo ko la Kaitu'u the blessing of to ha ki Britannia ko ai ku ke better so okay my personal opinion get out if lo ko he tu ha ke ai ko ana ve ma ta ko na ba hoi tong hai ko me ta tau pe ai ko ta ta pe na este teu ka ko fe ma pe he ta mo pa pe ke ne ta wa ko pe ta to ne o ta te but we still need to ha ko mo ta si o me fa la ta tu ke ki he ko ki pe te na ta ko ta hala he ta to fa ta ko without him we are absolutely nothing. So ko ko ka ta mo ki te hina me valfa me naite he talamonu te ke mau ka XGPS me ia mau tanga ta ek Palemia he be ke valua Ke down fada ke. We know they will do your best and I'll stay there with you. Lot who fear back about Matogon of Matuka to attend a po in Europe, Spain, Siamane, Pemaki, Putania, the Colos make Hollywood, Master CEO, smile, how about to the Popo, Hammer, Magoyana, Mo, get a fetokoni'aki. That's why we are here. We have to help each other, uplift each other, and I never fear Mao. Feliz Navidad de España. Kalau dia from Norway, Guyu ifra Oslo. And cheers to all of you and the Tongan new elected Prime Minister of Art from Spain, boy, Europe, boy, Mediterranean Sea. Cheers. Salute.
So cheers, ai falata. Malo au pito tahine tarini nengalo ya koe senta CNN o gutui Atlanta ke kau he popo. Anyway, tau hoko at pe tau popo lave, te ko tui pe ko hangat pe ke o kapa o ku fie hu mai a Master Sio po ko Falamoe, ka ko ki fie fakakau pe tau fie fia mo tau talamonu efiafi ni, e tau kau wako tutuku kotoa pe, ne kau he firi Fale Alea, pe nau ikuna foki. O nau hu ki he to'u Fale Alea hoko. Ae te ulau te ki irisi goni mo e a te au. Tok tānaki mai ka pau ku ngalo hahingoa na amamahi mai ai hani. Ka kumi mei to'o holo he ngahi to'u o e fitu ngō fulu mo e walu ngō fulu e to'u Fale Alea me he Tonga High School e to'u Fale Alea fo'ou, he ta fo'ou. Aia ku koe tau ek Palemia me he tahiwa walua hange goia ne lawi ke aia a Katarin pe mo merenaite. Pa wia i rewa a poastei, ko mau ka poastei, ko tau wia o e tahiwa fitu hiwa. Tahiwa fitu hiwa. Pa wia i mo e veteran politician ko ia ko Samiu Waipulu, i he tahiwa ono ngō fulu tupu a Samiu Waipulu. Pea tau hiki hake ai ki a tatafu moe aki. Ko tatafu nei tau wia mahalo mo merenaite, ko tahiwa walufaa. Pea hoko atu ai ki uhila mo e langfasi ko e ta uia tahiwa fitu taha, ko Daniela Fusmaalohi, ko e to uia o e tahiwa fitu nima, pea i he hau eki no pere e foki, o ke iai pe a lotu i wakano, pea pehe foki ki a lotu i a fitu, pea mo lotu i haangana. Koe hau eki Fale Alea ia off my head o ko Manatui. Koe kau taha sa kotoa, pea te mau o atu ai pe mo e talamonu ki he kau Fale Alea koe. Koe kau taki e ni o e whonua i he wā whe maa uoua, pea te nau whengawe aki mo e Palemia-Fili ko huakawa mei liku. O atu ai pe e mau talamonu mo hono hu whaki o e kahau o e whonua o tau ofa kotoa ai neongo e tau whakapaea mo e tau imuri foki. Teu kolosi atu mua ki LA ka takpe e Master Sio, ke hoko atu pe tau fie fia. Ko tau fie fia, pea kou tui pe o kui lotoni mo viriam lātu, o ku kau mo viriam lātu, ihe, ko tutuku taha sa kone to e foki ki he Fale Alea, he to'u Fale Alea koe ni. Ko ai viriam lātu, ko hangai fope mahalo na ke log in mai, ko e mau popo talanoa fie fia pe ni mo e talamonu ki he Palemia-Fili, pia mo e kau Fale Alea ko Fili. Over to you, Master Sio. It's an open agenda. O kai kia hata me ae ke tau tokanga ke tau whakatewhito ki ai, ko e tau talanoa maafana pe, manat merie, manat mahimahi, ko e tāha sa e ni kone tuutai.
Congratulations out ki a Hokama Meriku, mo e toi kau ex-tonga hai, no lava ki Fale Alea. I look forward very much to a brilliant career and real progress in our little country. Sometimes I think about my life and I'm beset by all these terrors whirling around in my mind. And I went to a little park close by and observed, it was after a rainy day, and I observed an earthworm wriggling around in the dirt. not worried about anything, and just doing his job of turning over the soil and making it better. And I thought, wow, I wish I was an earthworm, that I could be just carefree and just wriggle around in the dirt. So there's a possibility I might get into mud wrestling due to this observation. But my point is, we shouldn't take life so seriously, in my view. We're all targeting a lot of things, which is very well and good. And my personal belief about my life, or humanity, actually, I realized this way too late. Well, not too late, I still have a few years, I think, is that the purpose of life is really to be happy. And we forget about this, that we keep driving ourselves, got to get a new car, got to try and get a bus or a private plane and acquire more and more materialistic things. In my view, I think I took off on a wrong tangent in my young time and tried to achieve so many things. And I wound up realizing that I wasn't happy. I used to own several properties and other material things. And after all that effort, by the way, it crashed and I lost everything and I built again and then crashed again. And I decided maybe this is a lesson to not chase after things which are really, in the ultimate analysis, illusory. They're just an illusion. So I think while we should be searching after knowledge, is a great thing. I know a lot of very brilliant people who achieved many great things in all fields of life that wound up being really miserable, even with all the possessions that they had. So this is a long-winded saying, a way of saying that I think I'm approaching a little nugget of truth, and that is to be present and be happy with whatever you have. If we notice our children, or even my cat has the most wonderful taste for joy. I could throw a string at him and he spends hours just playing with a string. And so I try myself to set my life to just have fun. And if great things come to me, great. If nothing comes to me, it's actually already there. It's just a matter of believing that we can create our own happiness. As it happens, the scientific studies say that 97% of human beings' worries never happen. 97%. Can you imagine? They never occur. So in our minds, we poison our minds every day thinking, I wonder what happened here. I wonder what happened here. I wonder if what happened here, I feel sorry that I did this 27 years ago. So our brain cells get mutilated and bludgeoned almost to death by worrying about the past, which it's gone, mate. It's not here anymore. And the future, 97% of our suppositions never occur. The remaining 3% of worries, 2%, it's just kind of a little bit of a strong wind, but nothing really bad happened. 1%, we did get blown down, but like a toa tree on the beaches of Tonga, we can stand back up and carry on. And so I try to live my life in this way, to just be present, whatever is here, I'm very grateful for it. I pass my time back to you guys. In a moment, I might expand a little bit, but for now, I think I should catch my breath.
Maria o pito e talanoa masa sio. Io. Ko ngai futoa, ai ke whakaukau koe ke ngai futoa koe I ta whako taha ko ha wakatolo mo kolo vai. O Kaitu'u mo e lau he tau at koe ke tau whakahao at ke tau o ki matawhanga. He? Mori au pito.
Mon lai pe behe mo urupai ni koe I pangai.
Koia.
I just think hundreds of years those trees.
Koia. E kaunga talanoa o ku atape e tau platform ka pau ia ko tupe ko tau tolpe ka pau e humai a Falamoe moha o whaahinga talamonu o ku atape ka uhine lava lele e tausi anenai. Ka koe taimien ke talamonu ai te mai ho talamonu o tā naki mai pia tau toki hoko atuai ki London I pia mo Spain I mo Tenima'ake. O whaat Falamoe.
Okay. Anyway, so let me o tangata kia te au keu take in I put ia koe ke uhono ui koe tangata I ke koe ha ai koe ja sabali ni ko uhi next prime minister ko tui ko term ko tangata I o whaka koe way of putting it in a whaka way ka koe mea he nau I tonga hai I he kousia koe ai ko tahi wawaluana e huanga ka tarini so sabali ni mea kia te au ko tau kiti katoa kau leka katoa na ke te ke Tene kai ko pasio ia kana ko he ko ka leka ko mato na mau sio ka to ke olunga mante ko ka orientation na mo kihe le ka mo sio ke ko ko te hu pa ki tonga hai ko te ilo big take le ta ha lo to big te ha ke ko ta ke ti ai ko ta ke ti ko era ia ko ya ke te ha ke ko big pa te ma we ha ka ni ai UE kamata te hai living in for 5 for New Zealand school certificate kan nila oscar mo UE ai ko ta ke dia bo pe sio kita ka tama ko ka na to ka tax ka le ta ha ko na wa ko ka mata le he ka ta se mata le ma to na to na ma ha ko sio financo.
Excuse me, the audio is a little sketchy.
Ka ko ha ka ni sorry
Here we are. No, your audio's back.
Okay, is it okay now? Okay, papa kau le ka ba super back ke te ha ke ya ha ka ni ha pu si o ya ke kau le ka tu ko ke ka pa na te unless na te sia sa ta na ko na te ha ta na to me te ku na ka ya ni ha te lo ko ni Katalina na maka Katalina na ilo ya au na ma sia sa ta ha si ka anyways ka ko te apa kita ka kana ya funky huri ha ke ya na ki no apena ko na funky hingwa na to kana ka wa ya sa sa ni na kawian he ilonga ko hano associate kono hingoa matao highly intelligent very good English fluent and ai apa tuku pe ia pa kai to to kanga pa alu kita ki muri alu kai ni sila pa alu kai kita ki Siamane so many years some of the forums of the pick up the kita no hingoa ai mo ne ki hingoa pe to waleni you can easily pick it up. But the ilo leva o matao I IT he tafaki IT o te sio leva kia ene hapa ni mata ito te hano hono vi hane watanga ito na ue anyway ka ko toki anga ki fili ko 2014 o 2014 ba ndo te kana ko kawa sa ni ko permanent ki aluya e kawia he haka he kau campaign ni o pe kawia o mau tole no mau la yang o mau tolu ha tolu kan asa kau tama ya me fitu balu mo fitu fiha ya ke na wali ko kau kitiana na pe ke na tolu o campaign ko pe kama sia o sta pa deputy ko tim halo na to deputy ai te ya he deputy prime minister pa ton mai e Katalini jambo more native. Kaka te siok te lewa ko ia pakoale na pakaukawe kai ko ia. Oh, ko kiti ko na kapa deputy ko na prime minister ia one day. Ai ko tanga te sio atu ko ki ai. Ko na ke ka te hu mai ko mai ha ko ni. Mai ngai Palestine he me ba tonga hai sio te nga we. So hu ko ai ta makipanga ko balu miliona ko ni. Te ko mas beleri me sun. Que ya hamnya te hei ai ko te but it's your best for kita yang ini unanga how he dealt with his way kamata he for alenga polo kotoa te you could see yourself already evolving and taking in things of the next campaign November coming you will be there anyways I got a lot of the time the support was there right from the beginning because you were admiring a young person coming up. I got tutuku lele hakeya. I got never tell with Fatonga Tanzania from Falamoe. I am an attack na Siosaia also. I put Hawaiian also. So far, wow, you can't have left Fatonga. You have to have who was to anyway. It was right from the beginning. It was. This time to be the Prime Minister of Tonga. So all the very best to the Kingdom of Tonga and all the best to Siosaia and his Honorable Amelika. It is so difficult to pronounce that word, especially and I'm so looking forward when he travels around when COVID-19, when all the borders is open, when he travels around in the world. Hope he will make it to Germany so that the Germans can have a really good time pronouncing his name, whether it's going to be Siamane or Amelika. Or Siamane, the word Siamane comes from here. Because I was asking also myself, but how is sovereignty? Because sovereignty is tutuku fae. But for man, sovereignty for sovereignty. I got currency and I'll tutuku my currency for you. So we are also looking forward to seeing him, supporting him from wherever we are from Germany. We will support him wherever he will go. He will do, and I think it will be a very, very interesting next 4 years.
Maria, o pito Falamoe Fakafofonga ai manatu mo o hanga o vai mai ai tuku au mai o ha tokotaha o ha huri o wha imata ko ne whai mai pena ke mui pena ake wavaloi e hoko ko Palemia iha aho ko hoko ai mea ia ko ia he aho in pagtau fie ai mo kaunga hoko atu o talanoa ki he poupou. Ko iai te tau hoko at pe o ke ilahi pe tau taimi kaunga talanoa o ku hango e lau. Toi ohu mai mua ai kumete ka te hoko at pe he kei toi pe ho tau e fe ka tarisi ke melie e ko ilo e au ko kau fefine mei iulope o nau whakamahamaha nau tolu hoa taha hoa e ua. O whai at ke hengi ko iai ko e whakamanato atu pe ki he taha sa ka pau ea hata hena ku fie whakamahamaha mo ki mautolu ko taimien ke hu mai he efiafini i he Zoom ko eni o ku o atu ea aia tau hanga hake pe ko check time i pe ko hongo fulu tolu ono eni i Iulope i Speini, Siamane, Tenima'ake, Lontoni ko hiva ai te ia master sio i LA ko tui pe ko e taha ua pe ko e taha eni i LA pe a ko e wha tolu ono eni me he sentasi ena i Atlanta pe a o kumau kei po talanoa fia pe ko e fia mo e Fakafeta'I Oe wanoa ua taha. Mau kei hoko at pe mau manat merie mo mau talanoa o tui pe e aonga pe mo fie whanongo ki ai hataha hiri hano upload ki he YouTube. E Kaitu'u ko tui pe ke wakai a eiki a hofoha mahalo pe na ku fie ma'u koe ki ai. Ka ko ata pe tau hoko atu pe e Master Sio mo kau fefine. Tau talanoa pe tau merie pe ko tau toki mātuku ia he efiafini. Tau hoko atu pe he koe efiafi o e whakaha o e fia mo e poupou. Moi ki hele lei taha, ka aku mau hangalau, aku mau koloa ia e Master Sio o kei kau mai. So te mau ki whakafoke at peka koe ka tok whakafoke mai ka mau tolu whewhine. Malo au pito.
No, sorry, Kakai pegi mua ke tau ki chia mua ka Master Sio tau fu ke tau ki mama fana go hi
Malo,
ko tau koena fe ohi ke tau manat ma pe tau toka i Kakai o nau si pu mai. O faat me Spain ki LA, cheers, yeah.
Go for Denmark.
O faatu au pito. Malo Katarini, yes.
Kimua Kakai Palemia ki hua only 2 sentences. Ohi ko na talanoa ia ki a kama me liku, but I would like to talk about what Master Seal was talking about. Ko loto ke tu tu mai wa fanga mali ki. Ko appreciate I'm 56 years old now. And I grew up in Tonga 18 years. Went to New Zealand Form 6 and Form 7 for 2 years, but that when you told Nima if you had Siamane. You were brought up so differently. So kihe taha became the guiding line for me. But a lot of the tau beka kihe bolokon hoko, but kihe taha tau hele bolokon. Tau beka kihe university, ke graduate ke le maʻi hakan. But pe he ai pe te pononga. No, now I 45 years old. We started a business with my husband. This is the 21st year in business running. I'm doing all the finance. He's the engineer. We are in heating and heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. Big projects. All the tunnels. Lots of tunnels here in Germany. We make our good money. We started off with 8 employees. We are 140 now. Strive maute, realize all right, I'm still 30 years old. But then, as I say, when I hit 45, okay, am I going to climb like that all this time? Is there a place called Lele Taha? Now I'm here. I think that's when I stopped and I looked around me. It could be midlife crisis. It could be really achieving nearly everything, and you felt that harmonia Matasio here kita he tapi but there was always something to strive for. The lava pick up the hoko to build the hoko. He got men out Tanya Gahe, the Pesio Gahe, Helea, I Palemia, Fale Alea. But you like it in the past until now. We are drinking champagne now, we are celebrating, but the work is still has to start. But it's a man when it's also going to possible with family. It is all part of it. Falling down, getting up, Oscar, okay, there is always something, but also try not to forget to live and enjoy the moment. Also the business meeting and all of it. Enjoy life. They know how to celebrate. It's one thing we Germans forget to do. Now, okay, I've got my car, I've got my Mercedes, I've got my pool, I've got my house, I've got my everything. And now we can now live for the day. But we can now live. But we go I don't get it like tutuku tong hai. I go now ke yakatan. Kapante is fall down. Take time, get up, walk again. You will always that was in life from Onya meeting Tonga High School ex-students around. They see a fear if they often would go kitty go for high for night the moment. Papa, I have been so me and only like my when was achieved here in they come now. They've got a lot of energy and I admire that and let them do it, let them go for it. Kaki mana ba tayo kada ka may tayo mali ka mana ba tayo oi ka hoko atu
Maria Falamoe.
Maria Moe.
Maria tau te hangga fakat lea fakat to hin ko kau tonga hai tau te ki inwai tau inwai fakamore more.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Matu'u foko hanga lau ka master sio lai ko mo ke tau fia. Tau mo fia ngau tau lo ke ai ke tau mo fia.
O
Malo Falamoe.
Malo vahe. Master sio kokoe pe ia e mo meniti ko ini.
Malo. Go malo o Falamoe laku mai ai ngahi mara ko lo ko na. O mo na pi ho lau. Go fu tau mo do la ho ke dai min. La he ku si holai. Ngai feitu ke he nau au dia. Ngai kai Amelika ni be ngai fo no mori. O fakatoa o anywhere you go. O ma o pe fi ai ta wai pe ko ha de me fai. But they see a Kakai they travel around. Yeah, Kakai massive koigi sote o tahape, koigi talause se o tahape. Ati sa ni Matu'u, unbounded joy. Fear lah here. He doesn't even own a spoon or a pair of shoes. Ngahi be ne fangi me fear ai be. Pero be awia ba uia ha kalasi I tonga. O fulahi te emphasis I fakahoko ako. Ke material things. Of course material things are good. But it doesn't mean it has to cost you your life. To me, if you achieve happiness as a farmer, bravo to you. If you achieve your happiness fishing, bravo to you. A lot of people, they chase, for example, you walk around, your transportation is just your feet, but you can be happy just walking around. Then we graduate to a bicycle. We think, okay, once I get a bicycle, I'll be happy. After a while, you want a motorcycle. And after a while, you want a car. The car pretty soon makes you kind of want something bigger. You want instead of a lowly Honda like I drive, now you want a Bugatti or at least a Lamborghini. You get that, now you want a private jet. And it's the same in human relationships. We think we can look around, once I get my jet plane, I'll be happy. I have met many people who are depressed and they own 2 or 3 private planes. And so, koe fia ai ko me be hoto loto. Ke te whasio ke tau whangi whanau, te tau e tonga. Te wainga horope, he pere pela, namua hato whare, ka ku nau fia pe kaure kai. Because they still have the spirit of happiness. Taim ni koe te hori, you want to achieve this, you want to achieve that, you want to achieve that, acquire this, acquire that. And a lot of us think, well, that is a beautiful lady. I would like to marry her once I marry her, I'll be happy. After a few months or a few years, you say, oh my God, I'm not so happy now. And maybe that one, if I marry that one, I'll be happy. And it's the same with women. Maybe we know endless examples of this. Even Trump married what, 3, 4, 5 times. Some people marry 8 times, and they keep changing, hoping to find happiness in somebody else. I wish I found this kind of viewpoint when I was still in Tonga High School, or even before then. Then I would have lived a much more blissful life than now. This is not to say that my life in Tonga High School was full of spiritual injuries or even physical ones. This is to say the state of happiness. A state of happiness, we should just be happy there. When we strive too much, acquisition actually is the cause of misery. Because once we get a piece of silver, after a while we say, I want gold. After gold, you say, actually, this is not really good. I want diamond. And pretty soon you want the whole world. The fact is, the whole world is inside your heart, you know? So lately, I've developed a philosophy of being thankful. And I am not really inured to classical religions. All good, but even the biggest wars in the world were created by different religious opinions. We have the Catholics fighting the Presbyterians, and the Buddhists fighting the Hindus, and so on. I think we should just develop a theory of self-love. When you love yourself, you automatically begin to not think that other people are worth less than you. You love yourself, automatically you begin to love other people, or at least tolerate them better than before. Achievement, worldly kind of achievements, is not a guarantee that you want to be happy. For example, we look at brilliant artists in the acting world, or even in the academic world. A lot of them commit suicide because they were not happy. They thought, once I get there, I'll be happy. No, the idea, of course, is it's well and good to seek to get a PhD or double PhD or whatever. It's great. But remember that the greatest thing is a state of happiness and a state of joy. See, the world works in kind of cycles. If you grab something and pull it to you, eventually you're going to get tired of holding it, and it's going to swing away from you. Okay, so it's always a back and forth. And like the seesaw in the playgrounds, it's always up. You're not going to stay up there all the time. There comes a time when you're down. It's just like that. And so I think that it's beautiful while you're up here to achieve as much as possible, but realize that eventually the pendulum swings in the opposite direction, and we should be prepared for it. Okay, time out.
Mahalo au pito e Master Sio. Koutui e hoko at pe tau talanoa a tau tau. Ka te tāpuni e atu pe ke uhi ke tāpuni e hono record. Ka tau hoko atu pe e tau whakamahamaha a tau tau pakapau pe kuai ha. Tonga hai hena o kuhu mai ki he Zoom. Te mau kei hoko atu pe. So ka tau round whakaosi pe ni e tau tāpuni ai e recording. Ka tau hoko atu lewa. E toka tā Kaitu'u. O ke whainga maari ke mai ha o popoak whakaosi pe Pe ngatai e tau recording, ka e hoko at pe e tau po talanoa. So ko tau ki round whakaospen, ke mai ha tau last few words, pa tapun lewa e tau recording, ka tau hoko at pe tau talanoa, fia, mo e mawhana o efiafi ni. Kaitu'u.
Malo pito Amelia, ma whainga marie, io. Ka taki pehe ki whinga e whoha ke mohe pokoen ko lava e whatongia. Whakatamai he pōni. Kau mai he tau polokalama fini, whamalo atu. Whampike kau whataha mo hangalea a Catalina ne nai ki he it's there quite a bright future for Tonga and a bright future for the Pacific. I he lakanga ko ni uktau mata me fakahoko I he tauni video tauni. It's a historical election result, and an excellent one, and it regardless of high school, I think everyone Tongan would do na fai lotu lai ki ai na lot katoa tonga ke Kakai lelei Fili lelei Fili whakapoto ko tui lahi he kutupuhake ki he ngai talanoa tupuhake whanongo he huki Tonga Hai na Tonga High School was established by His Majesty again ki have future leaders for the country, and now kaunga tupuhake pia whanongo ki he reputation lelei Tonga I he the Pacific for many years. Ne whai whakaamu ke tau. So, ko tuku ko ngai talanoa en oku tau whanonga ke ngai ahoni ko hinga koe Kakai lelei ko Fili e Tonga for Tonga o kauai e tōlahi. Tonga High School ex-students. Kau wai mo taki, mo Prime Minister designate. Pia mōna pito ko whai talamonu pa koe tō Amelia. Bright future for Tonga. Again, go strengthen that talanoa kia master sio kihe. Strength in diversity, more unity in difference. No, akolahi ne talanoa kia earthworm story, more carefree, and it's just very meaningful. Very meaningful. A contentment. Tau iloi o guai role, particularly for me and for you, that nobody else can play but me and you in this time of life. Anga ko ui kon ko Honorable Siosaia ki taki, a Prime Minister for Tonga, and other Tonga High School graduates or other candidates successfully called for the Parliament of this for the whole of Tonga. Particularly called now where they were specifically, basically designed to deliver at the most difficult time of our lives. Wai talamonu, mo lotu lahi, ko tui ko e ui ke tau hoko te pe e tau lotu. I reflect a lot with Master Seal with what you've been speaking about tonight. I'm very grateful. Ko manatua ki he, you know, Isaiah, I think the book of Isaiah, kihe I mean, for the wise not to be proud of his wisdom, for the rich not to be proud of its wealth, and for the strong not to be proud of its strength. But only one thing that we can be proud of is having the understanding to know that God exists, He exercises love, justice, and righteousness, and these God delights. And Master Sio kept on talking about happiness, and it's very wonderful to hear these words of wisdom. You know, we hear a lot about knowing that we don't know. Fact that we know that we don't know is really the core of what I reflect on that discussion tonight. And when we know that, we like the earthworm, we carefree because we don't carry anything that will make us heavy in life. We don't become stressful because we don't control the flow. We just go with the flow, believing that God will equip us with people and time. And I think knowing that we don't know as key is what I reflect on tonight. But I think this would be my message, kaunga popo atu kihe ui kona koe for the Prime Minister designate, Honourable Savaleni, and other Tonga High School graduates kihe ngahi lakanga mau inga koe ui in ko whakaotua ka nau tolko kona ui kihe Fale Alea o tauni. This is their call and this is their time, and I think knowing that we don't know and surrendering to God is key, and especially with this pandemic has taught us, even with our scientists, in time of crisis and times like this, we now know and convinced that I think, well, when I was interviewed for this Commonwealth Secretariat, there was a question that I'd like to talk tonight, if part of my talamonu, was what do you think is the problem in the world right now? That was a question to me, like, wow, a big question. And my answer was saying the fact that we don't know everything. And because we don't know everything, it's important that we listen to each other. And this is really a time, it's important that we combine our differences. The quicker we understand that we depend on each other, the quicker we appreciate our differences. So we appreciate and look into what makes us unique from each other and see that as our strength. So I think that's what I came up with and one of my answers during that interview. But during that process, one of the things that really empowered me, because I was getting ready for the interview and I was praying, what should I prepare for? What should I read about? And I already shared with Amelia, because Amelia really helped me a lot with the process of providing with support, with tips and so that was I prayed about that. What should I pray? What should I prepare? And the thing that came to me was you don't have to prepare anything. For since you were born in that family, I don't know, for Matu'u, up to where you are now, that's the whole preparation I have made for you for this interview. And that was very powerful when they came to me, that because then I started to recall my family, my parents, and my siblings, and every little so up to and so every happy stories, every bad experiences, they all make sense to me. So I left any bitterness feeling. I realized, wow, they all happened for a purpose. That was really my preparation for the interview. So when I went for the interview, I felt like the word earthworm, that it's not me. It's everyone that contributed to who I am now. So I was facing the panelists, thinking about, of course, I even wrote a big writing on this is Jesus Christ, as really to remind me. We need to reflect it. I'm sorry to hear my son banging on my door. But basically, it was a great feeling to know that it was very, very light. So it's everyone, including Amelia, who really helped me a lot, including everybody else that I met all these years up to now, Tonga High School, the teachers. So that was a wonderful moment to think about everyone, all the good and the bad included. So Ko talamonu pea again reflect on what Master Sio and Falamoe, the messages of Kathleen and Melonite, Amelia, kaunga kawa ti talamonu ko hinga koe Fili, moe tau fo'o ko tui ko kaunga kau I loto lai. Ke tau ma'u a spirit of that, a carefree earthworm to fulfill the role that we were called to do, and that's it. And God will complete the rest as long as we do our best. Mo loto lai o falahi ato mo talamonu kaunga popo at hange koe lea Amelika, not just to say the talamonu, but also saying that we are supporting morally and also actual support with the different roles and different experiences that we're given. Professional and private, both. Overlayat, moe lot, moe malo.
Malo.
Malo, Pito Kaitu'u. Ladies, and then
Amelia.
Master Sio, go ahead, please.
Kātaki pe. Ki mua he tau free for all, o fi volunteer ki whaia ki mea ofa whakalaumari, ki he kāinga, ki mua he tau tuku hiki o private. Ka pauti ki lotu revi ema kau pēnoro. Those of you who feel like closing your eyes, do so. If you prefer to just watch me or do some other needlepoint or play chess or something, that's perfectly okay. But in the spirit of love and support for everyone, I want to acknowledge the great indebtedness that we have for our parents. And in my interactions with people that I help, I ask them if they would place their hand on their navel, otherwise known as your belly button. And I'm currently doing this myself. And the reason for this is that symbolically, our navel connects us to our mother and our father, and their mothers and their fathers, and their grandfathers, and so on, to a time when we were just little sparks of light or stardust, and ultimately leading back to God, however you understand God to be. And so I know that at this precise moment, we all are connected to the spirit and the power and the wisdom of our ancestors, and ultimately to their God and ours. And so I say, thank you for the wisdom that is embedded in our Tongan heart. Thank you for the sunshine that we enjoy. Thank you for the breath and the lungs to process the gift from the trees and the forests of Tonga. Thank you for our kind heart that we can extend love to our fellow Tongans and out to the world. Thank you for our ability to love ourselves deeply and thereby respect who we are, that we don't disrespect our bodies, our minds, or our heart. We don't disrespect any part of us. And this self-love includes everyone, because we know we are all one, as Honorable Kaitu'u was saying earlier. So we thank you for giving us strong arms, strong hands, and a strong back, that we can do honorable things with our lives. Thank you for a brilliant mind that listens to our heart before acting. Thank you for broad shoulders of my ancestors upon which I can stand and see further. That I can come up with ideas, loving ideas that blesses myself, my family, through the wisdom of my ancestors and their courage and forbearance. Now that we learn to love ourselves, we have created a flow of abundance streaming towards us from the universe in the form of love, in the form of forgiveness, in the form of compassion, in the form of caring. So we don't eat all the mangoes, but we eat maybe part of one. And from our abundance, a cup which is overflowing with blessings, we offer to others to drink from the same overflowing cup. This I offer up with unlimited offer to all Tongans and to the entire world. Malo.
Malo au pito e Master Sio pau ku
Malo.
mau hounga ia I he appreciation pe koe whakawhetai ko ia ne ke toki wahe wahe. Pea koutui o ku time lelei pe ke tāpuni ai ki polokalama live atu koe ni ki he hala ki wha I mata. Aki pēha mau fakamalo atu ki he tokotaha kotoa pe o ku whanongo mai ki polokalama koe ni o efiafi ni. Koe tuunga pe I he whakawhetai mo e fakamalo I he taua usia mai e ngahi tāpuaki o e ngahi ngā ue kua malawa I he tau koe ni e wāwhe mau ataha. O at whakataha peia mahanga mo whanongo mo e mau lotu mo e huwhaki ki he ngahi whatongia o kuhanga mai I he wāwhe wowa. Pea te mau tatau atu he ka tautau whiiloaki I he tau fo ou pea mo e ofa, ke lahi ange ai ofa, mo e fia, mo e whakawhetai. Mau ofa lahi atu me he road to wha I mata.